record button. Okay, so after this, we will send you the raw files. We put it on YouTube, so it's like what
Oh,
happens in
cool.
the group, and then we share it again. And like if you have notable quotables, which I'm sure you will, um,
So funny.
we end up we like chopping them up and using them in social media along the way. Hold on.
You say chopped and screwed?
Chop them up and reuse. That's
I'm
what
just playing. I'm just
chop
playing.
the screw. Like, no, that's not what I said. Okay. Oh, yeah. So here's where we smile and we look like super buttoned up because it says preparing. But then once it is what it is, and we're live,
Uh-huh.
there's like a few minutes that
Uh-huh.
we gotta do things.
Okay. You look good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the I put on my special lashes just for you.
Hey.
You know, this is a full look we got going today.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, so here we go. I'm pressing buttons. It still says preparing. Okay. What did you say? Go live? Did we do this right? Yeah, I gotta talk. Zoom. We're doing. Prepare yourself.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
We're now live. Hold on.
you're so foolish.
We're like, okay, look alive, everyone.
Okay.
You got it. It's happening. It's happening. I see us on the Facebook. Okay, so if you are a replayer, if you are joining us after we've gone live and we've done the magical things, fast forward through the first like 5 minutes because this is just us making sure technology is supporting our efforts. Hello, Maggie. Hello, Monica. Hello, Cece. Hello to the team.
Hey. Hey, Monica. Oh, what did I do?
Did you just break something already?
No,
So
I'm
soon.
still
So soon.
right here. Where did my oh, I see you. I didn't do anything. I just nothing.
It's all good. Okay.
Like you could see me, but I couldn't see you.
Okay. We made it work though. Look at us go.
We back. And we back. And we back.
Do, do, do. I haven't had this much fun since like yesterday. So just
I
manage
mean,
expectations
sounds
with
like you're
that.
on a roll. Let's keep the momentum going,
Well, it's so much easier to maintain momentum than start and stop.
ain't it? Ain't it?
Just keep your momentum. Keep your momentum. That was news you can use. So that was free coaching right there, y'all. Hey, Caitlin. So like I'm looking at comments as they pop in.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's like it's a whole thing. Uh,
This is exciting. I'm ready for it.
I am so glad you're ready for it, and thank you for all that you do, all that you're doing in the world. Thank you.
You
And
know.
if you could do your best to not make me cry,
What are you saying?
feel like I am vulnerable.
I feel like this is gonna be like a bird's eye view to when you get a haircut, but you're not getting your haircut.
Oh, okay,
And like
fair,
people are
fair.
just gonna like be privy to our conversations.
This is literally what we do when I get my hair
Mm-hmm.
done. So you get the insider track on our
Yeah.
conversations. So there you go. You get to kind of be a fly on the wall. Oh, all the things. All the things. We'll have to fill in some blanks because now we have like an inside joke we need to share with everyone. All the things. Hello, everyone. We got 2 minutes and counting. Two
Okay.
minutes. Oh, 2 minutes and counting. So
Oof.
for
What this side?
my strong side, everyone.
I like quick buzzed my head because it was getting what I called long.
I understand.
So I was
I
trying to
understand.
find the angle because it can look
Good.
like this or it can just look like a round.
I felt like it was perfectly round, and I was jealous for a second because my head is not round.
it's
It's
it's a little muscly, I think.
okay because you got a big brain in there, And you know, that brain is like,
Doing
"Oh,
stuff
about to, yeah, you're thinking real hard."
either from working or like trying real hard.
Listen, got that big vein that pop out right here
Oh, I don't
when I get there. So Maggie
have.
gave us a heart. So I think Maggie just recently, Maggie, I'm telling all your business. Maggie had a hair incident and just recently had to buzz it all off herself.
Hey,
And so,
welcome.
like every time we have a team call, Maggie's got a
Mhm.
different hair color, and it's amazing. So
That's
one
what's
week
up.
it was like pink, one week it was
Yeah.
blonde, and then what was it? Yesterday it was brown. So she had like a Sinead O'Connor, nothing compares to you moment. So, so I'm like, yes, I love all the variety. I love it. You
So
know, because
funny.
I got two curls that may or may not participate. As far
Yeah.
as the styling goes.
I am good on this. I'm gonna do this for a minute because
Mhm.
let me
What
tell
about
you.
when the weather changes? Are you just gonna
You
rotate
know how many
hats
hats
in?
I got?
Okay,
I'm
I'm here
so
for it.
excited to bring my hats back into the world. So
Okay, so
many
I
hats.
was just verifying there were hats. It's 3 p.m. It's 3 p.m. We're ready to rock. So now that we talked about
And I was about
the
to go in.
roundness of our hats, get serious. It's 3 p.m. Your serious face though, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
Be careful
Hello,
what you ask for.
hello, hello. I'm Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. Success Bully is an elite accountability practice, so that makes us professional butt kickers. And so essentially, we are a coaching practice and we work solely in the space of goal setting and accountability. We have built out a methodology called your 90-day way to help you get clear about what you want to accomplish, the plan to get there, and then we have the accountability and tracking to support you along the way. So, what we have coming up that's really, really exciting in the next week. It's next week, right? Oh yes, yes, next week. Monica wants you to know she's dying to cut all hers off too. So just pin in that. The
Ready.
5 days of focus challenge starts October 12th. That's next Monday. It's next Monday. And so the 5 days of focus challenge, this is why it's super important this go round. Well, it's important every time we do it. But we call this New Year's in October. We call this time New Year's in October because it takes 33 to 66 days to develop a new habit, 90 days before you see results. And right now, we're just shy of 90 days to 2021, right? So rather than wait until January 1st to get started on your 2021 goals, why not just start now? Why not start
Mhm.
getting those practices in place, that habit formation, get the kinks out. So when January 1st rolls around, you're already in motion. Because as I said pre start of the show, it's so much easier to maintain momentum than to
Mhm.
start and stop. And what we find is if you get started January 1st, you're not going to see results till March,
If you
right?
stay at it.
If you stick to it, if you stick to it. Yes. And so join us for the 5 days of focus so that you can finish 2020 strong and you can start 2021 with that power and momentum. So now within the group, you have a personal concierge. I have to say it like that, concierge.
Sounds great.
Thank you. Thank you. Kelly, you're just like all the affirmation, all this. So
Cool.
if your first name begins with the letters A through G, Monica is your concierge. If your first name begins with the letters H through N, CC is your concierge. And if your first name begins with the letters O through Z, then Maggie is your concierge. Okay. So you are going to get friend requests from each one of them. You are going to receive, we'll be following up to get you registered for the 5 days of focus. So if you haven't heard from your concierge and you just want to sign up for the challenge, you can go to successbully.com/challenge. But your concierge is going to be reaching out to get you registered, get the workbooks to you, answer any questions. If you need a little FaceTime, if you cannot wait till the 12th, if you can't wait till the 12th, you are more than welcome to book a call with us. You know, you can get some time on my calendar between 9 and between now and the 12th. So that's all my announcements. Wait, no, I got one more. Sorry, Kelly, stand by.
I'm here. You're doing
Uh,
great.
thank you. We have some referral programs rolling out because, of course, Invite your friends and your network so you have your own built-in accountability buddies. You are always welcome to work with the Success Bully team, but the more the merrier in this case, so that you have a community to rely on, that we can cheer each other on. So again, we want to finish 2020 on top of stuff, rolling into 2021 with all the power, all the intention. So now I'm like for real done. I'm like for real done with the announcements now. So now I'd like to transition to our very, very special guest, Kelli, and who is just absolutely magical. I am excited to share you with the world. I mean, like our world.
Oh,
I understand that the world already knows who you are. And so Kelli is a local artist here in Seattle. She wears many, many hats, and like has basically touched my life in a very profound way.
oh.
Just to name a few, like barbering, designing, creating jewelry. I didn't wear my custom ring. I
Have
almost
it.
want to.
I
I
have
have
one.
it.
I have one.
You have a custom
But you
ring.
can't
Okay.
really see it.
We
It
okay.
is a
Ooh.
moldavite one I made.
Oh, get into it. Custom jewelry. I have a custom ring that I'll show you at another date. I don't want to like get up and go get it. I would
I
go
was
get
like,
it, but
go
that would be like, bye y'all. Go get my custom ring.
No worries.
Besides barbering, designing, custom jewelry, painting, Kelli's also a certified life coach. So when I would go to get my hair done, I would get some good coaching.
It just happens.
It
It
just
just
and then we
happens.
coach each other. It's
Basically.
a coaching circle. And so Kelli believes that whatever your gifts are, use them. She's a self proclaimed jack of all trades, but finds building relationships with self and others to be the most important in life. And so, the quote that I want to leave you with before we go into my rapid fire questions in no particular order is: the more we can understand and have compassion for ourselves, the more we can show up for one another. To feel seen and heard by each other could be the key to unlocking the greatest of our dreams. Wowzer, you wrote that?
Yeah, when you read that, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I wrote that.
You wrote that? I was like, oh, okay, that gave me the tinglies. That oh,
Wow.
hurts.
Deep.
So share a little bit with us about your background. So you've had like this incredible journey. So like walk us
Mhm.
through. So you ain't got to give us all the dirty details, but
I know.
like walk us through like what you've done before and what you're currently doing and how it all kind of works together.
Wow.
Heavy question right out the gate. There you go.
It is because there's so much. I'll just do the broad strokes,
Go
right?
for it.
Like
I'm with it.
I'm from Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay, Midwest.
Grew up and then went off to college, but not too far, Kalamazoo, Michigan, at Western. And while I was there, because I grew up with a pretty religious background,
Mhm.
I ended up moving to Philadelphia for seminary. And not to like become any kind of minister or anything, but like just having questions
Mhm.
and needing clarity. And so, like, with that, I've always been a seeker. So I just want answers. I need to understand. And there were things about my life that was not jiving with what I was reading in
Mhm.
seminary or growing up in church. And I was just like, some of these things don't make sense. So after about a year in seminary, I got some information that I was looking for. And then I kind of transitioned out of the church, but grew my relationship with God, universe, spirit,
Mhm.
however you name them. But all the while, like I've always been super active. As far as sports, I've always been a maker of things, but always to spend a lot of time in community and doing like service projects and things like that. So there's always like this combination, right? And I say all of this because when I up and moved to Seattle, it's like it all came together.
Mhm.
So like that's where you get the life coach and like, you know, most of the things I did in the past, like I worked in prison for 3 years or being a personal trainer or, you know, these things where it's like you don't think about it, but the whole while you're actually interacting with people the whole time.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
there's this exchange that's happening, whether you know it or not. And sometimes it's just energetically. Um, but like broad stroking it out, like
Mhm.
here I am in Seattle and I opened up a barbershop about well, I was there so about 2 years ago, opened up a barbershop that is now closed because of COVID. But I opened up that barbershop because I saw a need in the community, and specifically for like queer people and women who weren't being treated properly in regular barbershops. Um, and just wanted to provide a space. And then, 2020 came, if we can bring it to
Things
present
got
day,
shit different.
present year. And at the beginning of this year, I started making jewelry because that was something I always wanted to do, being a maker of things. And so like that's kind of where I'm sitting right now that I'm not in the shop, and I'm getting back to my creativity. I'm getting back to rest. I'm getting back to genuine conversations, because something that you tend to realize during the season of COVID is the conversations that keep going are the people that you find yourself closest to. And that's where like the nurturing is happening. And it may not mean that they are the most important, but they are the ones that are like highlighted in your life right now.
I feel like I made the highlight reel.
You did. You did.
I have like a little snippet on the 2020 highlight reel.
You're so funny. But yeah, I mean, this is a time where you actually have to put in the work,
Oh yeah, like I think that and just to kind of give everyone color, I met you through Andro, your barbershop, and like I think that is something that I've admired about you so deeply, is that your ability to build community and to create safe spaces, but also to make everyone feel loved and valued. And that like even walking into a space, having, I've been wearing my hair short, faded and all that since like 99.
Okay.
And in the 20 plus years that's been going on, there have been times I've gone to get a haircut and I have felt violated.
Yeah. I heard a lot of those stories.
Right.
I heard a lot of those stories.
But also that like coming into the space, we could have these very genuine and vulnerable conversations about big, and it was never like, let me tell you what happened. It was like big life conversations. And so like, I think that speaks to your character and your ability to connect with people. So do you have a secret recipe for that? Like, or is that just something you've innately done?
I have a recipe.
Oh,
it's not very secret.
Okay, I want to.
But essentially, I just fully believe like, and not necessarily just in the barber situation, that makes it a little easier because we have like this slot of time and it's just me and you. But even in like everyday interactions, you just want people to feel seen, feel heard, and be available. Like I've always been a really vulnerable person. And that is the only way I think that other people will then feel like they can be vulnerable too. And so in some places, and you can be discerning about it, but it's like you can say to yourself, or it may innately happen, like, do I have the capacity to hold what this person is bringing, and then proceed. But to me, it's not necessarily a secret because we all want to be seen and heard, so just to give people undivided,
you do lock in.
So yeah, because so like this is the other part. I really prefer one-on-one hangouts versus like group hangouts. And I've been this way since I was little because I feel like I have to focus on every single person in the room. Like if it was an event for like a birthday party or something, right? Like they were so stressful because I didn't know how to be fully present to a whole group, right? But like this, I could do all day.
No, I can't do it all day. I mean, like, I enjoy one-on-one interaction, but I also like, we got to do economy of scale right now. But I do like, there's still those times like I miss and I crave that deep, meaningful conversation with individuals, and I try to make a lot of space around that. So one of the things, we were before COVID took out our game plan for 2020. Right. We spent a lot of time together, and so I started taking notes. And
Indeed.
So I started outlining chapters for your book.
True story. True story.
And I would like, what'd you just say? And I would literally take notes. I had a
While at brunch.
document, had a document saved to my phone that
So
anytime
funny.
Kelly had a notable thing that I was like, ooh, that's good. That's good. I would take notes on it. And I believe that we at least have an outline for your first book. That's what I believe to be true. So whenever you're ready to wrap it up, let me know.
I believe someone is gonna help me write it. Like if I can just dictate and they just like
there's apps that do that.
probably.
I did
All I
that in
know,
a Word document recently. I was like, how have I been sleeping on the dictation function in Word? How
you
have I
know
been
what? There
sleeping
is
on that?
dictation in Word. And it's
And
been there for a long
it's been
time.
there for a while.
Yeah.
So like
Well,
just,
thank you for bringing that back.
just try each one teach one. Each
Each
one
one
teach.
teach one. Thank you.
Each one teach one. Okay. Oh, hey, hello. So question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait, we got 2 questions.
Yeah.
Here we go. Monica's chatting me. Hold on. Oh wait. Okay, wait. There. Okay, wait. Hold on. I got it. Okay. So how, like, when we're talking about that vulnerability, vulnerability, being vulnerable. Let's just keep.
Vulnerability.
Yeah.
You got me messing. Yes, about
I
that.
got it. So how have you used that to build a rapport with your customers and your clients?
Um, I think so. The thing about it too is like so there's a third piece when we're talking about cutting hair, right?
Mhm.
And because so my clientele was also just straight men, right? And they would share like super vulnerable things too.
Mhm.
And I think it is also because when you're cutting somebody's hair, right? Like there's also physical touch that's
Mhm.
happening.
Mhm.
And that is something we all want and need and sometimes crave. And this is a place where you didn't have to wonder what was it for, what was it about, right? Like it was a part of the package. And
Mm.
it's something that was like subconsciously um making a difference. And so a lot of it too, and I'm not saying like right out the gate, they come in the door just like, here's all my feelings. But I mean, if you're consistent, right? And you can check in with yourself, like, is this space safe for me to be vulnerable?
Mhm.
Um, and sometimes you think you're going to be vulnerable for you and you find out, oh, it's for the other person. Or sometimes it's the other way around. But also like, I don't know, to be open to the experience, to be open to the conversation. Does that answer the question at
Yes,
all?
it does. Yes, it
Okay.
does. So then my next question for you. And so I hold on, I gotta check technology. Hold please. I
Okay.
think are we still live? Did I lose the connection? Monica, can you chat me? Okay. This is going live.
It
Live stuff.
says
This happens. Hold
it
on.
says it is.
It says that it's happening. I just can't see it.
Got you.
Okay, so I can't see it. Okay, okay, as we were. We'll just keep going till someone tells me otherwise.
Okay.
We'll reboot if we need to. So then going back to my previous statement about me outlining your book.
So funny. Yeah.
So there were like, I think we got to like 7 or 8 chapters, but I wanted to talk through my top 5.
Okay.
So number one of the things that you kind of shared with me that I thought was like super impactful was the idea of imagining without boundaries. So what does that mean?
It means if you say, like,
Okay, we're still live. It's
oh,
working.
essentially, like, if you have an idea of what you want, right?
Mhm.
And it say just a basic house, 2 bedrooms, a basement, whatever. I grew up in the Midwest. We had basements.
Mhm,
Um,
I remember those. Mhm.
and like just something very simple and basic. Like put behind that thought, like, and then, right? And just
Mhm.
keep pushing yourself to get bigger and more detail because we all can think of essentially like an idea of something, right? Because we've seen it somewhere,
Mhm.
but then
Mhm.
like, what does that look like for us? What does it look like for me?
Mhm.
Because it may not be like maybe it's gonna have 2 bedrooms, an office, you know, and like all these other rooms that I'm just not calling bedrooms. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just imagining something beyond that first thought.
Ooh, so stretch it.
Exactly.
I think what's interesting with that, like I think especially doing, this in the coaching modality, that people can
Mm-hmm.
put a lot of hangups on things. Like, I want to do this, but what about and this and then that? And then,
Yeah.
well, that I don't have the time, I don't have this, I don't have that. And before they can even finish the thought of what they
Mm,
want, they have put all these hangups and all these limitations on it. And to
yeah.
me, like the idea of imagining without boundaries, that like give your mind the space to explore. And when you're thinking
Mm-hmm.
about your dreams, you owe it to yourself,
Right. Right.
to think bigger. We only get one shot at this isn't a
Yeah.
dress rehearsal.
Exactly. Exactly. And there's nobody else that's doing it the way that is going to happen for you.
Exactly. There are
Right.
a lot of coaches out there.
Mm-hmm.
None of them are Keita Williams,
Nope.
except
Not a one.
except Keita Williams.
And I mean, but that's a big piece, right? Because we're always
Right.
looking for a template. And it's
Hmm.
like, maybe you're the template,
Right.
right? Like, this
Maybe
is
you're
your
not the
life,
next
you
so and
know?
so. You are
Exactly.
the first of your name, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, get into. Oh, we're talking some powerful stuff here, y'all.
Breeze
Everybody
through
catching
it.
up? Are you with me? Type yes and yes in the comments. Give me some jazz hands, some emojis,
So funny.
something. This is amazing. Okay, so this is the second chapter, high level. You all are getting
He's
a
so
book
funny.
preview. You're getting a book preview for free. You're getting coaching and
Foolish.
a book preview for free. Chapter 2. Go with your first mind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, expand that for us. What did you mean by go with your first mind?
It's kind of like what you were just talking about, where it's like, oh, I got an idea, except and but and then, you know what I mean? It's like, just hold that thing there, like it came up for a reason, and explore that, like, and not with the buts and the ands and the exceptions. Like, and to me, those are just fears. Like, even when you're talking about it, how I know those things show up for me is like a fear. It's something, around trepidation and not fully believing yet that it can happen.
Mhm.
So let that stuff go. Like, if you find yourself saying, I'm going to do this, and then it's like, but like, if you want to do it, like everything else, make it happen. We do
Oh,
some pretty incredible stuff that, like, if you could find one moment in your life where you made an incredible thing happen, you're capable, you know?
that's so true. Okay. And also, there's something to be said about doing it scared.
Mm-hmm.
We wait for like these perfect moments in time
Yeah.
um to execute on things, or we have all the hangups, the fears, the trepidation. But the truth of it is, you need 45 to 60 seconds of bravery, and the rest of it you can do
Like
scared.
that. Yeah. Yep.
Take that 45 to 60 seconds to make that decision,
Mm-hmm.
to start that thing.
Mm-hmm.
When I, with the first time you said this, go with your first mind, to me, I think
Mm-hmm.
that as I am growing in my role of CEO, and I haven't given myself a CEO title. I'm founder and chief strategist. We talked about this when we
Yeah.
hit 7 figures, then I get promoted to CEO.
You're so fun.
But like, um, that idea, as I'm growing as a leader and in my own space, that like the buck stops with me. I don't have a committee.
Right.
I don't have a committee, and not everyone that cares about you, not everyone that's in your circle wants to see you succeed. Let's be honest.
Yeah. That's one of the chapters.
That's one of the chapter. Not everybody is for
Right.
you, and those can be the people that are closest to you. And
So,
so,
yeah.
like going with your first mind, I think
Mm-hmm.
um that brunch chapter really
Yeah.
stuck with me, because they were like,
Yeah.
okay, this came up for a reason. Go with
Mm-hmm.
that versus,
Can I
uh, yes, go ahead.
go ahead?
No. So like that, going with, okay, that came up for a reason. Dig into
Mm-hmm.
that rather than I need 65 options. Let's lay out all these options and
Right.
then get those 65 down to 40, and then from 40 get it down to 20, and then take that 20 to 10, and then that
Yeah.
10 to 5, and then that 5 to 2, and then 1.
Yeah.
All that's extra work and stress.
Mm-hmm.
When
It's true. And like, I'm a fan of brainstorming,
mm-hmm.
but like the whole, like, because I feel like our first thoughts are the ones that we haven't, like, double backed on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
like you have a first thought and then you pause and think and think and think and think. And then you
And
come up
your
with all
way
these
out.
other things. And it's
Mhm.
right. And it's just like, sometimes that's the one.
Mhm. And it's the one for a reason. So go with your
Hmm.
first mind. That's chapter 2. Chapter 3.
Yes.
Take leaps. Take leaps. Tell them what you meant by that, Kelly. What did you mean by taking leaps?
That goes back to the fear thing.
Mhm.
Doing it afraid
Mhm.
and waiting to see the safety net. Like, if it's a safety net, then it's not a leap. You just hop into the next, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
leaps take courage. They take sometimes a little bit of anxiety, like
Mhm.
that for me is a key that like this thing is real. This thing is solid and it's worth it. Right.
Mhm.
Because if you don't put in that like a sweat equity, that pours out of fear, then it's like, are you going to even appreciate it whenever it happens? Or
Mhm.
maybe like that pause and not taking the leap is just another detour from where you're actually trying to go.
Mhm.
I've taken a lot of leaps recently, and each time it's been nothing but a payoff,
Oh,
And
absolutely. I think
so,
like in the big leaps that I've made on the other
mhm,
side, it is
mhm,
like this phenomenal growth, and it was the development, the current, like all these good things came out of it, and sometimes it's
yeah,
like the financial payoffs, but
yeah,
even it's like jumping off the high dive. When you're a
yeah,
kid, you like climb up and then you're like, "Ah," and then you
yeah,
jump off and it was fun.
right.
and
And
then
the water's there, like
right,
the
and you
water is
know how to
there,
swim.
all the things.
You know how to swim, and there's a lifeguard.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
And so I think like for our folks that are tuning in right now, if there's something that you have been talking about for the last 3 years, that idea, take
Now's
the
the
damn,
time.
here's your sign. Here's your sign, take the leap. Kelly
This
said,
is the
now's the
writing
time.
on the
Take the leap.
wall.
This is your sign. Take the leap. Now, don't go quit your job and call me crying later. That's not what I meant.
No, no.
Don't be rash or
Although,
radical.
if you were supposed to leave 3 years ago,
Perhaps that maybe that is the time to take that leap. But
maybe everybody's getting on your nerves for a reason.
and there you have it. Okay, so that's news you can use from Kelly. News you can use. But like there eventually comes a time where you've got to trust your own wings.
Yeah,
You've got to trust your own wings. Okay,
yeah.
so take the leap. That was a good one. Okay, chapter 4. Chapter 4. Your book preview is going down.
I'm like,
Okay.
what is it? What is
What's
chapter
chapter 4?
4?
I only picked 5, but I had like 9 chapters. I picked 5. Okay, you must create, manifest, and imagine from the place/feeling
Hmm.
that goes with what you're trying to create. Speak on it, Kelly.
This is one of my favorites,
Okay,
actually. This
this
is
is
my
your
favorite
favorite
chapter.
chapter. Are you all leaning in? This one is about to be good.
Because when I first like heard of this concept, I was like, of course, right? So I'm huge on manifesting, like a huge believer in it. I've
Mhm,
tried it and it works.
mhm,
Um, but basically, if you want something that you can't even see, then how do you pour the energy into that? Or how do you even know what it feels like? Like, how do I want to say this? Because the thought is always to go straight to money. Like, I want $1 million, but it can be way more tangible. So here we go. Say we'll use money. I want $1 million. Okay, well, I can't imagine it because I don't know how much. I've never
mhm,
had it. However, it's like, well, what do you want it for? Right.
mm,
And then you get into the details of like, well, I would do this and I would do that. And how would that make you feel? And
mm,
be like powerful, free. And even your voice begins to get higher in the thoughts of like, or your energy even gets a little lighter because it's like, man, I would just, and like from that place then begin to create versus this like I just want $1 million, like
mhm.
because what we really want is the feeling,
Right.
right? What we want is to feel and then do. And so it's like go from that place
So
instead of
the
focusing on
feeling.
the money. Focus on the feeling, focus on
Oh,
the
I love
power, the freedom, or whatever that thing is that you're asking for, and then what joy does that provide you, and go from that place. Or where else do I feel that type of joy, and do that thing and then manifest while you're doing that other thing.
Did everyone catch that?
It
Because
makes sense.
it's from the feeling. And I think like I got a real simple million, we all working towards millions of dollars, right?
Right.
Um but like I have wanted a puppy
Yeah.
since May, and
Mm-hmm.
didn't like got a lot of rejection and hurt feelings
Mm-hmm.
about puppies between, I was not a fit adoptive parent. I was getting rejection emails
So
um
insane.
from rescues and shelters. I'm trying to take this down. Y'all just
Right.
like,
Right.
did you have to hurt my feelings? And even like coming across scams and all this stuff. And like I was having a conversation with a friend that was like, well, did you manifest the dog? Did
Right.
you did you pick out a collar? Did you grab a bed? Did you get all the things that you wanted for the puppy? And I
Mm-hmm.
decided on a name. I started putting stuff in my Amazon cart, and I promise you, the
Mm-hmm.
next day I got a phone call from a friend like, "Hey, clear your schedule. Tomorrow we're looking for puppies." And that is how Dante the Shar-Pei came to be.
Mm-hmm.
Who
Mm-hmm.
is sound asleep snoring like an old man. When he wakes up, maybe he'll make a special guest appearance.
I was gonna say.
We all need some Dante in our life. But like real simple things like that. Like I knew I wanted the companionship, I wanted the cuddliness, I wanted somebody to take me on a walk. And Dante does that a lot.
That's real. That's real.
And that was the feeling I wanted. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily a breed or like I didn't have what I thought I wanted versus what I got in this case. Like I got a
Mm-hmm.
really amazing puppy rather than
Right.
I'm looking for an English bulldog, and that was just no, I got a Shar-Pei better than that, but I'm
I
biased.
think that touches on one of the other chapters, right? Like thinking bigger.
Oh yeah, hold on, I'm getting to it. Chapter 5. Thanks for carrying us along, Kelly. Thanks for keeping us on track.
We
Chapter 5.
okay.
Don't be small. Stand in
Uh,
your power. Are you all following along here? Hold on. Where are my comments? Where are my comments? Tell us more about that.
that was a word for myself just now.
Oh, don't be small.
Um,
Oh, don't you hate when you coach yourself?
basically, you know what you're capable of.
Hmm.
You know what you bring to this world. Um, if you don't, ask your loved ones, ask your friends, and stand in that. Don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt your greatness. Don't doubt your abilities. If you known yourself to be one way all these years ago, guess what? You're still you, and you can do it again. And that is really just that simple. Like, be your whole self at all times. Don't dim your light or shrink back or stay behind to let somebody else take what is already, space made for you. That's not, it's not a good way to be in life.
Okay, did we all get that? Don't dim your light. I think like I feel like there was a period in my life where I was trying to fit in so badly,
Yeah.
and like just wanted to fit into this like box, or the
Hmm.
boxes that I thought were checking boxes, that go get your fancy degree, go get your big corporate job, and then you got to get married and have a 2.5 kids
Yeah.
and have your white picket fence, and you got to live in the suburbs on a cul-de-sac. And I
Hmm.
tried so hard to check those boxes, and
Yeah.
really I was shrinking down to fit
Yeah.
in the boxes rather than um there are other boxes. There are other boxes,
Yeah.
and actually there are no boxes. Like
I was about to say, and yours has no walls at all. So
yeah, mine is more like a enclosure.
so funny.
But like
It's so
so
funny.
much of it was trying to fit into things, and I think that
Hmm.
at this point, like, yeah, go full Kita. Like there's no off
Yeah.
switch. there's no
Yeah.
there's no
And
dimmer.
honestly, like the space will be made. Like if people can't handle it, then you're not for them, they're not for you, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many of us in this world. And I think about something we talked about, like I think at the beginning of COVID or right at the end,
Hmm.
maybe our last cut together, I don't know. But it was like, that whole idea of like there's only one you. There's only
Hmm.
one Kelly. And back to the whole template, like there is not a template for this. Like we are creating every day what we are doing, not even should be doing, but like this is it. This is what you get. If you're looking for some more, maybe it's somebody else who got what you're looking for. But
Hmm.
yeah, you can't make wrong turns in your life when you're the first one living it.
Can we put that in the comments? You can't make wrong turns in your life when you're the
You're
only one
so
living it.
funny.
Just wanted to make sure we reinforce that point, because I think that and I think I fell into this trap for a while too, where it was like I felt like I should be somewhere else. I should be further along by now, or
Mhm.
I should have this, or I should be that, or I should be this.
Right,
And the
right.
truth is, it's your journey.
Yeah, and we all do it at some point
Hmm.
because that's what everything externally is telling us to do. And then we hit these blocks and we hit these walls, and then it's like this dark period of I thought, but it's like everything we were trying to do was created off of a false narrative,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And if we just take one step a day in our own direction, then it'll probably pay out way better.
Okay, one step a day in our own direction. I hope you like this makes the
You're
book
so
too.
funny.
I hope this makes the book too.
If you put it there, it's gonna make it. Do we need to talk about how at the beginning of COVID I texted you like, can I get that book?
And I was like, you mean my private notes for your book? Yes, you can.
I thought I was gonna write it.
And I was like, right, okay, yours, sending.
That's so funny.
But like
All the
literally, I was
stuff I
taking notes.
said. Yeah,
Like, what'd you say? Taking notes.
that's
Okay,
so
so
funny.
now let's talk about so now like 2020 has thrown us for a loop,
Mm-hmm.
and like 20, what we all thought 2020 was going to be versus what it is. So
Yeah.
like, where do you see your pathway leading you now that the COVID has kind of closed one chapter for you? Where is it you want to go now?
It's funny you ask. I know personally I am in a time of transition
Hmm.
and transformation. The simple answer is I want to go where spirit leads.
Okay.
But it's wow. Kind of I started, so let me just real quick. I started out by doing a bunch of stuff in the beginning. Like the first month of not being at work because of COVID was like, well, there's still a Monday through Friday. I need to be busy.
Hmm.
And then
Hmm.
about a month later, I realized I need to drop that. That's
Hmm.
bad. That's bad programming, right? And so then I need to find what works for me. And so I started making jewelry and trying to be creative, but I was still trying to do a thing, like still trying to push something out there so that I didn't feel like I was wasting this time.
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
Um, what I am just now, probably in the last month or two, learning is like rest, you
Rest is
know,
resistance.
and take every single moment of joy that pops up, like do not disregard any happiness. Um, and so where I think I'm headed is to a place that I've not been yet, right? So when we're talking about jack of trades, and I was having this conversation with my partner earlier, I think whatever is coming next is not going to be anything I've ever done before. And so I'm just excited. Like this, I am literally here for the ride right now. So I can't call it, but I'm excited about it because I also know that things have been gradually getting better. And so I'm
I like
going
it.
and looking at it with that energy, like, oh, what's next?
Hmm.
And I'm ready for it.
I do like the concept of like grabbing onto joy
You
and
think?
just like appreciating it.
I think you froze up
Uh,
on me.
oh no, you're frozen too. Dear internet, now is not the time. So when Kelly
On
unfreezes,
vacation.
we'll come back. I can hear you. Okay. Well, we're grabbing joy. We're grabbing joy. So when the internet allows us to be great, we'll come back to that. And so, um, I would say my last question for you is: when you unfreeze, if you unfreeze, what's your advice for this community? If there was one nugget that you wanted to leave everyone with, what is that one final thought that you have for this community of game changing goal getters? Okay, hold on, wait. Okay, Kelly, you're back. You're back. Okay,
Hey.
dear internet. Okay, so I was landing the plane. Okay. Um, I'm gonna try it again. Okay, so what are you reading? because leaders are
Oh,
readers. So what are you currently reading?
I just picked up a couple books today too. Okay, so easy. I'm reading a lot of things. But primarily right now, Cast,
Mm-hmm.
CASTE. It's part of Oprah's book club right now. That's not why I have it.
Okay.
It all happened at the same time. Um, and that's a little heavy. So
Okay.
also there's this one called LaGuardia that I just finished, which is a graphic novel. Um,
Okay.
I can't remember the author's name, but it was a real. I've had this book for over a year, and I read it in 2 to 3 nights.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because it was just light and fun, but it was also like a little political. Um, but yeah, that like at the top of my list are those two for sure. And I just started one last night. That I don't remember the title of either. But those two.
Put it on your bookshelf. So
Yes.
then to land the plane. So this is my last question of the rapid fire
Okay.
questions.
All
What
right.
is the nugget? And everyone act like I didn't say this while she was frozen. Okay.
Okay.
What is the one thing that you want to leave this community with? What is the one thing that you want them to hold on to take away from this conversation? What's the one thing you want to gift them with?
Um, a little backstory and then a quick answer. Saw my grandmother back in February, who has since passed, not from COVID. She was 96, and I asked her when I went to visit what would be a piece of advice, and it was to always be yourself. And that is what I mean. You can't get it wrong. So I think that's pretty solid.
Always be yourself. Thank you for that. That is so all the things. All the things. Thank you, Kelly. You're absolutely magical. Thank you for spending time with us. Hold the line real quick. Let me land the plane.
Okay.
And then we'll debrief for a second. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the emojis. Thank you for all the love. I am Keita Williams, and I am the founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. We're an elite accountability practice, so we focus on goal setting and accountability. We are professional butt kickers, and join us. Join us starting October 12th for the 5 days of focus. This is a process that we walk you through to help you get clear about your goals so that you can finish 2020 strong and go into 2021 with power and momentum. If your first name begins with, I got to get this right because I mess it up every time. If your first name begins with the letters A through G, Monica is your personal concierge. If your first name begins with letters H through N, then CC is your go-to. And if your first letters of your first name begin with O through Z, Maggie is your concierge. And they are going to be reaching out. They'll be sending you friend requests. We're going to get you registered for the challenge. And we really want you to participate because this is a great time to create that momentum and that movement in your life, to get really clear about the direction you want to go and start taking those steps, start taking those leaps like we talked about, to live the life you deserve. And we're passionate about helping you do that. And we cannot wait to see you back here. So let's get after it. Until next time, all the things, y'all. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Peace.
Bye. Okay, so we stop the live stream.